Yo guys, it's John here with Option Lab. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how I could potentially lose over $1 million in 2025 with the option wheel strategy. Now, of course, that's partly clickbait. More generally, what I want to talk about is, and this is a comment I've been getting a lot, how do you succeed with the wheel strategy in a bear market? So if you guys are not familiar with who I am, I did 2.2 million in profit in 2024. I track all my trades, have a pretty cool life. I'll show you guys here. A bunch of you guys, literally over 100 of you guys just off the last video joined in my Discord. I've been talking to every single one of you personally, and I'm going to do the same thing. First 10 people to click and join and DM me small account challenge on Discord. I'm sending you guys a free trade for the small account challenge. So let me get this out of the way and refresh my portfolio here so you guys can see. So this is running from, let's see here, 1/6 to 1/5 of 2025. You can see a little over 2 million. Pretty good percentage return. If you guys need my account statements or anything, I'm more than willing to send them. Anyway, let's get back into this video. How do we make sure that the wheel strategy succeeds in a bear market? So one of the things that I'm looking at when I'm running the wheel strategy is overextension. So overextension to the downside on a stock, right? I'm trying to sell puts or cash secured puts on stocks that I'm theoretically or hopefully getting for a good deal. So a bear market allows for more buying opportunities and downward overextension, which is actually one of the main criteria I look for entering wheel positions. Because if a stock looks like this, right, it's overextended to the upside, and I start selling puts all the way up here, I'm going to get burned, because if I get assigned shares, I'm now assigned at the top, I've now bought at the top, and I'm now stuck holding. So I would much rather buy at a great discount off of a severe drop and then hold and flip that stock for profit along with writing covered calls. So like I said, I track every single trade I take. Discord's in the description. So what is the actual method that I use for trading the wheel strategy in a bear market? By the way, if you guys are not familiar with the wheel strategy, it's selling cash secured puts, owning the stock, writing covered calls, doing it all again. If you're not familiar, just watch another video that I have. So let's make sure I'm back on here. Okay, there we go. So the method is going to be finding stocks I'm willing to own long-term and slowly writing cash secured puts to average into a long-term position. So let me explain why I do this. So if you're thinking about, the goal of investing, right? If you read Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, it's very difficult to actually outperform something like the SPY, the S&P 500. So at the end of the day, buying and holding still does work. And the wheel strategy actually allows you to do a sort of pseudo buy and hold strategy. So if a stock is, overly depressed on the downside, I'm actually using my cash secured puts to average into that position and add more as it continues to drop. And then in theory, when it starts to recover over time, I can start writing covered calls all the way back up. So that's the first part of why I actually enjoy a bear market. And the strategy that I take is I typically start with smaller position sizing, right? Because if a bear market is occurring and we're getting a slow bleed in the market day after day after day, you're not going to want to enter in a massive position right off the start, because then if the stock continues to drop, your cost basis is going to be significantly higher as opposed to when you averaged in with puts along the way. That is naked puts, not long puts. These are bullish strategies. Moreover, the second part of this is I'm choosing a lower delta. So if you guys are not familiar with delta, it gives you a kind of probability of the likelihood that the strike price you're choosing, that stock is going to stay above that strike price by expiration. So in this case, instead of maybe choosing the 35 delta, which I might do in a bullish market where everything's going up, I might go down to the 24 or 19 delta that has, what is it? A 10 to 15% less likelihood of getting assigned shares. So I'm picking a more conservative strike price, and I'm taking a smaller position size off the start so I can average in. What am I trying to avoid? Let's go over that. Number one is the inverse of that. I'm trying to avoid large position sizing because I don't want to get stuck with a ton of shares at a super expensive price. Because if it keeps dropping, then I can't even write calls on it. Next, super aggressive strike prices. If it's a bear market, I want to be at a lower delta that has a less likelihood of me being assigned. Number three, and this is sort of temporal or circumstantial, but stocks unfavorable to the change of political office. So Trump's coming into office. I'm not going to want to choose stocks that are depressed because of, for example, say due to a specific climate change policy, a certain sector is just dying. I want to avoid things that are unfavorable to the change of office. So typically I'm making a watch list of 10, 20, 30 stocks that I like, and then monitoring those as the market drops. The last thing we want to avoid is trying to time the bottom. It's much better to take smaller positions all the way down and slowly lower your cost basis than try to time the bottom, and then the circumstances that end up occurring is you miss the entire move, the stock moves back up, and you've now spent the entirety of the drop when you could have been getting the stock on sale sitting on your hands like a dummy. So if you guys are not familiar with the wheel, I'll briefly go over it. Selling an out of the money cash secured put. If the stock drops below my strike price by expiration, I'm assigned shares. I can then sell out of the money covered calls and make money not only on the covered calls, but on the flip of the stock. So I don't want to go too much into the wheel strategy. If you guys do want to learn more, like I said, pop in my free Discord. I've been talking to every single one of you personally. We have over 300 testimonials, a lot of one-on-one work going on. I'm booking a bunch of you guys for calls this week. So hope to see you guys there. And if you have any more questions about the wheel, feel free to watch some of my other videos on this. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.